الحمد لله رب العالمين وأصلي وأسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى أهله وصحبه أجمعين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والنازئات غرقا, by those who rest violently. والناشط نشطا, and those who draw gently. والسابحات سبحا, and by those who glide swiftly. فالسابقات سبقا, those who press forward as in a race. فالمدبرات أمرا, and those who carry out the command of Allah. يوم ترجف الراجفة, on the day when the earth is shaken violently by the first trumpet blast. تتبع الرادفة, followed by the second trumpet blast. قلوب يومئذ واجفة, on that day the hearts will be pounding. أبصارها خاشية, and the eyes will be downcast. يقولون إنا لمردودون في الحافرة, they say, will we really be restored to our former state? أإذا كنا إداما نخرة, even when after we have turned into crashing bones. قالوا تلك إذا خرة خاسرة, then they say, then if that is true, we will indeed be losers. فإنما هي زجرة واحدة, then it will be but a single blast of the trumpet. فإذا هم بالساهرة, then immediately they will be back above ground. These oaths are sown by the noble angels, and these oaths are sown by the noble angels and their deeds, which are indicative of the perfect submission to the command of Allah, and the hastening to carry out His commands. It may be that what is tested to its requital and the resurrection, based on the fact that they are followed by a description of the resurrection. It may be that what is uttered to it too, and what is sown by is one and the same, and that Allah swears by the angels because belief in them is one of the 6 pillars of faith. Moreover, mention of their deeds here refers to the requital of which the angels are in charge at the time of death and before and after that moment. Hence Allah says, by those who rest violently. This refers to the angels who pull out souls forcefully and keep on pulling until the soul has been completely brought forth from the body, then to be requited for its deeds. And by those who draw out gently. This also refers to the angels who pull souls out gently. This indicates that the gentle pulling out is for the souls of the believers, and violent wrestling is for the souls of the disbelievers. And the violent wrestling is for the soul of the disbelievers. And by those who glide swiftly, that is, who move through the air, ascending and descending. Those who press forward as in a race, hastening to fulfill the command of Allah, and to outrun the devils when conveying revelation to the messengers of Allah, so that the latter will not eavesdrop on it. And who carry out the command of Allah. This refers to the angels whom Allah appoints to convey many of the matters of the universe, in both the upper and lower realms, such as rain, vegetation, trees, winds, seas, fetuses, animals, paradise, hell, and so on. On the day when the earth is shaken violently by the first trumpet blast, which will signal the onset of the hour, followed by the second trumpet blast. On that day hearts will be pounding, that is, they will be deeply troubled by the intensity of what they see and hear, and eyes will be downcast, that is, humble and brought low, for fear will have seized their hearts, and they will have sustained by panic and overwhelmed with regret and sorrow. They namely the disbelievers in this world say by way of denial, will we really be restored to our former state, even after we have turned into crashing bones, that is, bones that are worn out and disintegrated. They say, then if that is true, we will indeed be losers. That is, they think it unlikely that Allah will resurrect them and resurrect them after they have turned into crumbling bones, out of ignorance of Allah's might and showing audacity and disrespect towards Him. Allah says, explaining how easy this is for Him, it will be but a single blast of the trumpet, whereupon all creatures will be back above ground. That is, on the surface of the earth, standing and looking around. Allah will gather them and judge between them on the basis of His just rule, and He will requite them. هل أتاك حديث موسى? Has there come to you the story of Musa? إذ ناداه ربه بالوادي المقدس طوى, when his Lord called to him in the sacred valley of Tuha, اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى, saying, go to Pharaoh, for he has indeed transgressed all bounds. اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى فقل هل لك إلى أن تزكى, and say, are you willing to be purified? وهديك إلى ربك فتخشى, and for me to guide you to your Lord so that you may come to fear him. فأراه الآية الكبرى, then Musa showed him a great sign. فكذب وعصى, then he turned away and began scheming. ثم أدبر يسعى, لا أيوة فكذب وعصى, but Pharaoh denied and disobeyed. ثم أدبر يسعى, then he turned away and began scheming. فحشر فنادى, he gathered his people and made a proclamation. فقال أن ربكم الأعلى, saying, I'm your Lord most high. فأخذه الله نكال الآخرة والأولى, so Allah seized him for an exemplary punishment in the hereafter and in this life. إن في ذلك لعبرة لمن يخشى, verily in this there is a lesson for those who fear Allah. Hence Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to his Prophet ﷺ, has there come to the story of Musa? This is a question about a matter of great significance that definitely happened. That is, has news come to you of him when his Lord called to him in the secret valley of Tuwa? Tuwa is the place where Allah spoke to him, bestowed the message upon him, and chose him for his revelation, and to bring him close to him. And he said to him, go to Pharaoh, for he has indeed transgressed all bounds. That is, tell him to stop his transgression, polytheism, and disobedience, speaking to him gently, so that perhaps he may pay heed or fear Allah. And say to him, are you willing to be purified? That is, are you willing to attain some praiseworthy and good characteristics which people of understanding compete to attain, which means purifying yourself from the field of disbelief and transgression, and attaining faith and doing righteous deeds. And for me to guide you to your Lord, that is, show you the way to him and explain to you how you may attain his pleasure and avoid his wrath, so that you may come to fear him when you come to know the straight path. But Pharaoh rejected that to which Musa called him. Then Musa showed him a great sign. This does not refer to one sign in particular, because there were many signs. So Musa drew down his staff, and suddenly it was a serpent, plain for all to see. And he drew forth the sand, and it appeared shining white to all beholder. But Pharaoh denied it, that is, the truth, and disobeyed the command. Then he turned away and began scheming, that is, striving to oppose and fight the truth. He gathered his people and made a proclamation, saying to them, I'm your Lord most high. So they submitted to him and affirmed his falsehood when he made fools of them. So Allah seized them for an exemplary punishment in the hereafter and in this life. That is, his punishment became a sign and a deterrent the remainder of punishment in this world and the hereafter. But in this there is a lesson for those who fear Allah. For the one who fears Allah is the one who will benefit from signs and lessons. When he sees the punishment of Pharaoh, he will realize that whoever is arrogant and disobeys and opposes the sovereign most high, he will punish him in this world and the hereafter. As for the one whose heart is devoid of fear of Allah, no matter what sign comes to him, he will not believe in it. أنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها? Are you more difficult to create, or the heaven he built? ورفع سمكها فسواها, raised its height and perfected it. وأغطش ليلها وأخرج ضحاها, he darkened its night and brought forth its daylight. والأرض بعد ذلك دهاها, and after that he spread out the earth. أخرج منها ماءها ومرعاها, brought forth from its water and vegetation. والجبال أرساها, and set the mountains family. ومتاعا لكم ولأنعامكم, as provision for you and your livestock. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, giving a clear sign to those who disbelieve in the resurrection and think it unlikely that Allah will create their bodies. Are you, O humans, more difficult to create, or the heaven? With its immense size, strong structure, and great height, Allah built it, raised its height, that is, its size and shape, and perfected it with dazzling, astounding preparation. he darkened its night, so that darkness enveloped all part of the heavens, and the face of the earth is overshadowed with darkness, and brought forth its daylight. That is, he made a great light to prevail in it when he brings the sun during the day, so that people may go about their business, both religious and worldly. And after that he spread out the earth. That is, after creating the heaven, he spread it out and deposited in it that which is beneficial for man. This is explained in the following two verses: brought forth from it its water and its vegetation, and set the mountains firmly. That is, he fixed them in the earth. The spreading out of the earth came of the creation of the heavens, as stated in this passage. The one who created the mighty heavens and all that they contain of light and heavenly bodies, and the solid earth and all that it contains of nothing that which benefit people, will inevitably select those who are accountable. Then he will require them for their deeds. Whoever did good will have the best reward, and whoever did evil, let him blame no one but himself. Hence, after mentioning the resurrection, Allah mentioned the requital and says, فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الدَّعْمَةِ الْكُبْرَى. So when the greatest calamity comes, يوم يذكر الإنسان ما سعى. On that day man will remember all that he did. وبرز الجحيم لمن يرى. And the blazing fire will be exposed for all to see. فأما من طغى. Then as for the one who transgressed all bounds, وآثر الحياة الدنيا, and preferred the life of this world, فإن الجحيم هي المأوى. Verily the blazing fire will be his abode. أي نعم. وأما من خاف مقام ربه ونهى النفس عن الهوى. But as for the one who feared standing before his Lord and restrained himself from base desires, فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى. Very place will be his abode. That is, when the resurrection comes with a great hardship that will make all other hardship pale into insignificance. At that time, a father will show no care for his son, no husband for his wife, nor any love for his beloved. On that day, man will remember all that he did in this world, both good and bad, and he will wish for an atom's weight more of good deeds, and he will feel regret and sorrow for the addition of even an atom's weight to his bad deeds. At that time, he will realize what will make him win or lose was his efforts in this world. On all connections and relationships he had in this world will be severed. Nothing will be able to benefit him except righteous deeds. And the blazing fire will be exposed for all to see. That is, it will be brought into a view and made visible to everyone. It will be made visible to its people, for it has been prepared to ensure them and is waiting for the command of its Lord. Then as for the one who transgressed all bounds, that is, he overstepped the mark by daring to commit major sins, and he did not adhere to the limits set by Allah, and preferred the life of this world to the hereafter. So his efforts were for the sake of this world, and this time was spent in trying to accumulate worldly gains and pursue worldly desires. He forgot the hereafter and failed to strive for it. Verily, the blazing fire will be his abode. That is, it will be the fate and the final abode of the one who is like this. But as for the one who feared standing before his Lord, that is, he feared being presented before him and being requited on the basis of justice, and that fear had an impact on his heart. So he forbade to himself worldly desires that could cause him to drift away from obedience to Allah. And his inclination fell in line with that which the Messenger ﷺ brought, striving against whims and physical desires that divert one from good. Verily paradise, with all that it contains of goodness, joy and bliss, will be his abode. That is, it is the abode of anyone who is like this. يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ السَّاعَةِ أَيَّانَ مُرْسَاهَا. They ask you about the hour when will it arrive. فِيمَا أَنْتَ مِنْ ذِكْرَاهَا. How could you possibly know that? إِلَى رَبِّكَ مُنْتَهَاهَا. Its knowledge rests with your Lord alone. إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُنْذِرُ مَنْ يَخْشَاهَا. You are but a warner for those who fear it. كَأَنَّهُمْ يَوْمَ يَرَوْنَهَا لَمْ يَلْبَثُوا إِلَّا عَشِيَّةً أَوْ ضُحَاهَا. On the day they see it, it will be as if they had remained in this world no more than an afternoon of a day or the morning thereof. That is, those who stubbornly deny the resurrection ask you about the hour. When will it happen, and when will it arrive? So Allah answered them by saying, how could you possibly know that? For there is no benefit for you or for them in knowing that, and knowing when it will come, because there is no religious or worldly benefit for people in knowing when the hour will come. Rather, the benefit is in its being hidden from them. Knowledge of that has been withheld from all of creation, and Allah has kept that knowledge to himself. Therefore he says, its knowledge rests with your Lord alone. That is, its knowledge is with him alone, as he says elsewhere. They ask you about the hour. When will it come to pass? Say, the knowledge thereof is with my Lord alone. None but he can disclose when its time will come. It will weigh heavily on the heavens and the earth. It will not come upon you by suddenly. They ask you as if you were well informed of it. Say, the knowledge thereof is with Allah alone, but most people do not realize. You are but a warner for those who fear it. That is, the benefit of your warning is only for those who fear the coming of the hour and who fear the standing before Allah. They are the ones who do not care about anything except preparing for it and striving for it. As for the one who does not believe in it, no attention should be paid to him or to his stubbornness, because his stubbornness is based on obstinacy and disbelief. If he has reached such a state, answering his question is pointless, and the wise person should rise above that. This is the end of the commentary on Surah An-Naziat. All praise and thanks are for Allah, and may the blessing and peace of Allah be upon Prophet ﷺ, his family, and his companions, abundantly until the day of judgment. وفق الله لجميع محب الرضا وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.